What's up, Ramblers? Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button for this daily podcast to never miss an episode. And follow us on YouTube at Assistance HQ for all the latest content and behind the scenes on the Ramblings. It's a whole lot of assistance going on. And now, a moment from our sponsor. What's up, podcast? Welcome back to another episode of The Ramblings. I'm your host, Angelo Roberts Jr., and we have a wonderful podcast in store for you today. So we're at the end of the weekend. We are on day whatever of quarantine. We've been quarantined so long, we should probably start counting the months. Month 2, month 3 of quarantine. Screw all the days and everything. It's been so long that we've been in quarantine so far. We might as well say, month 2, month 3 of quarantine at this point, because it's moving super slow. We're at the end of the weekend, starting a new week, new opportunities, new everything. So this is your Monday podcast. It's like 9:20, almost 9:30 right now. I'm tired. I have not been good with my time over this weekend. And I'm going to admit that. I've not been good with my time. It's just a whole lot going on, So positivity to you guys. Let me get that out the way. I just want to wish some positivity on your week, on whatever you guys have going on. I'm going to be selling as well as doing a bunch of other things. I have some flipping I have to do. My goal is to finish getting this client onboarded. Yes, let me speak on that for a moment. The client that, if you have been following on the podcasts, we're in the process of onboarding a client. I say we as in me and you guys, because you guys are like family and are part of this. So we are onboarding a client this weekend, and the papers just didn't get signed. I don't know what it was. It's e-signed, so it's not like you have to fax it back over. It's literally just a click signature and you're kind of done. So, I don't really know what took so long. However, it doesn't really matter. We're patient, This is where the patient comes in. We were talking yesterday about patience versus procrastination. This is where the patience comes in. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm working on a whole bunch of other things. I'm working on getting these cards flipped. I still haven't even got them all the way cataloged, let alone posted and ready for being to be sold. So it's a lot going on this week. So positivity, and I hope that you guys are successful in your endeavors this week, or whatever adventure you guys got. Because this with May 1st and the first week of May and everything coming, let's hope for a positive change, some good news. If no macro good news comes, like a complete lift and a bill of health saying we're all going to be okay. Take your micro win. You doing good. This setting you up to be in a position for success, and take that. This is, you have to take the micro wins where you can right now. So I hope you guys have a positive and successful weekend. It's just a lot going on. With whatever you guys have going on, because today I really want to get into talking about growing your business from the inside out, or starting small. But what that really means to start small, because you see a lot of these companies that come out and you're like, well, you didn't hear about them until they were at X point in their development or their team. So I really want to take you guys through, if you are starting something this week. It's the first week of May. It's spring coming and everything. Summer. We're in spring, actually, dang. But summer coming with new, just life. Everyone's starting new hobbies, wants to do new stuff. With whatever it is you're starting, prepare for the criticism. That's what I would like to start with. Prepare for the negative feedback that you're going to get with whatever it is that you're doing. And you're going to get negative feedback from all sorts of angles, whether it be family, friends, coworkers, the random people on the internet that you don't know. You're going to get some type of flack from some type of angle. And it's just the way how things are. Some people are just so unhappy that they have nothing better to do than leave a negative remark on your hard work. Even if it isn't good, they can say, hey, this isn't good, keep doing better. It doesn't have to be, well, you're not going to make it. You have to prepare for the negative feedback on any level. And you can't let that stop you, because if you're going to let a comment from random pants 99, stop you from doing whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever goal you're trying to reach? What are you going to do when, someone that you truly value your opinion, like, maybe an accredited person in that industry says they don't like what you did? Are you going to say, you know what, you're done? Are you going to quit? So you have to prepare yourself for the negative feedback. And I just really want to get that out there, because it's a lot of people that feel like if everybody doesn't like what they're going to do, or everyone doesn't like their idea, that, oh, it's not a good idea, or it's not a good product, or maybe I shouldn't do this. No, that's your product, your idea, your vision. They don't see the vision. There's a difference between someone giving you critique to help you improve, or to, give you sound advice, versus the idea of not just dishing you off, or pushing you to the side and saying, you know what, this would never work, versus saying, this is how this can work. This is the level that this can work at. And based on my knowledge and, the facts that you're presenting me with in the current of what I see, this is the cap of where this could go. So it may not be worth for that person to invest in. For them, it may say, this will never take off. Anything can take off in a small market. It's a small market, There's only but so much that can happen. So there's only so much that you need, but that small market might be just enough for you. It might be only $50,000 worldwide, but hey, that's $50,000 worldwide that you didn't have, and that you're doing something that you love. So that's really what it comes down to. You have to really, when you're starting and you decide to do whatever it is that you do this week, whether you decide to go and start looking for garage things to go do flipping, as you know, I'm doing flipping this week. If you happen to have, want to start a garage, want to start learning how to code, you want to start what a business, a service, doing nails, doing wigs, doing hair, whatever it is that you're trying to do, because you were not doing it before, and because you are trying to make changes for the better in your life, there are going to be people that just be like, hey, why would you do something? Why would you do something like that? And when you put it in perspective of that, like, when someone questions or has a negative emotion towards you trying to better yourself, think about like the kind of place that person would have to be in to project their negativity onto you because you're trying to do better. That really is kind of super backwards, don't you think? You're trying to improve yourself, do better, be a better you. And then here comes someone saying, why would you do that? That isn't necessary. You've changed. Of course I've changed. I'm trying to be a better person. And if I'm a better person, let's take this example. The biggest example I know that's super relatable is if you smoke weed. A lot of people smoke weed. Do you ever try to quit? What's the responses when you try to quit? When you're like, you know what, I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm not gonna do this anymore. What do people say? What's the reaction? Are they supportive? Are they like, oh, okay, cool. We're not gonna smoke around you. We're gonna, help you try and, not smoke. We're gonna help you break your habit. Or is it, yeah, right. How long are you gonna last? Oh, you gonna smoke whenever you with me? So whenever we have a positive step that we're trying to make in our life, we're going to get some form of negative angle, like I said, from anyone. It can be our family, it could be our friends, it could be that random person online, like I said. So you really have to hunker down and prepare for that, because if you're not mentally prepared for something like that, it can really deter you from your dreams. You have to do this for you. This isn't for anybody else. This isn't for your mom. This isn't for your dad. This is for you, your purpose. Now someone might say, oh, well, I'm doing it for my child. That's still doing it for you, because you made that child and you want to provide the best life that you can for that child. And so therefore, because what would make you happy, your goal is to be the best parent that you can be. So you are going to work your job the best way you can work your job, so they can pay you the best way that they can pay you, so that you can provide the best possible resources for your child. All of that is for you. Even if it's for somebody else, it's for you because that's what you want to do. So when you're doing your business, your new hobby, your new challenge, if you have a new obstacle that you're trying to face in your life, like you might be trying to lose weight, you might be trying to quit smoking, you might be trying to find a job for whatever's going on in your life. Whatever is going on in your life, do it for you. Because if you don't do it for you, the conviction isn't there. When you do something for someone else, it doesn't have the same push, the same When you do something for you, even if it's even if it benefits somebody else, do it for you. Because that at the end of the day, whether it's a success or a failure, no one's going to take credit for it. If you do something for somebody else and it's a success, okay, cool, you did that and a success. However, if you do something for somebody and it's a failure, they'll be quick to blame you. They won't be quick to praise you. They will be very quick to blame you if something goes wrong with whatever it is that you're trying to do. So you have to do it for you. No one else's opinion matters. Your mom's opinion doesn't matter. Your girlfriend's opinion doesn't matter. Your boyfriend's opinion doesn't matter. Your grandma, aunt, sister, uncle, none of those opinions matter. It's your opinion. Because the basis of other people, if everyone's opinion matters, you have to draw the line on whose opinion would matter. Why does that opinion matter? What about their opinion affects you? If you were to go and have a branding question, think of this. I'm going to give you a great story. If you had a question about branding, would you go to someone who's a coder, someone who writes JavaScript, different codes? No, because you're looking to increase your brand. You don't need software, you don't need a program, you don't need an app, you don't need anything that needs coding. You need something with branding. So why are you giving so much opinion about your business, about your brand, about your hustle to someone who has no idea or insight to what is going on? Let that sink in. Why is the opinion of Sally Mae, who went to school for art and teaches third grade and is so upset that she does that, why are you mad that she thinks your lashes are terrible? She has never bought them. She's not reviewing the product. She just thinks that you should go get a job and that whatever. There's so many different things. But why does that opinion matter? That's for you. You gotta. It doesn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. You should be doing this for you. You have to have the confidence in your process. You have to. Without the lack of confidence, if you're insecure in your process, of course you're going to care what other people think because you're doing it for their validation. If you do this for you, if you trust your process, if you know your process, if you know you and know the outcome of what your actions will be, why would you then stray from those actions because someone was in your ear? So you have to be very careful about who you have in your circle because those people in your circle, whether you believe it or not, are in your ear. So for the people that are in your ear, what are they saying? What are they doing? Are they supporting you? Are they giving you negative feedback? Are they constantly bringing you down? Are they constantly trying to uplift you? You have to pay attention to all of that because you, in doing whatever it is for you, only have your direction. You have to focus on what your vision is. So when people are chattering, even if it's positive, you can't let that get to your head too much, that can become an issue too, being too arrogant, puffed up with pride, because too many people in your corner said, hey, this is all good. This is all good. So you really have to focus on you. No bad of what people say, no good of what people say. Focus on what you say, what you do, your actions, and the results you get from your actions. Because if you know that 2 + 2 = 4, and you're trying to get to 4, and you know you need to do 2 + 2, why would you listen to somebody saying do 2 + 3? They don't know. They don't understand. So why give them that power over you? And they don't even have the knowledge to do what it is that you were doing. If you said, hey, okay, give me some pointers and tell me what I can do better. And they're like, you can go online and see things you can go better, man, there's nothing of value in what they're saying. If they said, hey, I think that you should talk about this, or you should, make it shorter, that's feedback you should probably listen to. If they're saying, hey, we want you to talk about these things, or if they're saying we want you to make these kind of adjustments, because it would make them more prone to watching their live, or make it at least more prone to them talking to someone else about it because they don't like it. For example, Gary Vee is notorious for being a huge cusser. A lot of people say, hey, listen, you shouldn't cuss. He still cusses anyway. However, his LinkedIn platform said, yo, listen, this is a different kind of platform. We would really appreciate if you would just not cuss in your videos on this platform. That's it. If you don't cuss on videos on this particular platform, we will be a lot more inclined to watch your videos. So you know what he did? He took out the cussing for LinkedIn platform. He didn't take out cussing out of his content. He didn't take out cussing out of his speeches or whatever he says. He took cussing out of what goes on LinkedIn. And so those are the comments and the feedback that you have to care about. What would help you be better? That's the only thing, the only comment that you should be worried about. You don't listen to negative feedback. You don't listen to positive feedback. You listen to criticism that helps you improve. So if people are saying, hey, we think you should do 20-minute lives instead of 40-minute lives, because I would like to finish it and I don't like not finishing episodes. So I feel like you should do 20-minute episodes and I'd be more inclined and I like it, then maybe you should listen to that. But if someone's like, I just don't like how your voice sounds, man. Well, cool. It's not for you to watch my podcast if you don't like how my voice sounds. That's the difference between negative feedback and the critique. And then you might have someone that says, hey, cool, we love your podcast because we love how you sound. Cool. Are you going to then run back to the person that didn't like your podcast and say, hey, look, this person likes my podcast. Screw you. No, because that person still is not going to like your voice. You're probably not going to like it even more now. So just do it for you. Have that confidence of you doing your hustle, your business, your entrepreneurial venture, and trusting your opinion, your strategy, and your plan. Because there's a lot of people out here that don't understand. Like, whatever it is that you ever have someone, whatever your skill is, you ever have someone approach you and say, hey, listen, I'm trying to be this good in this particular skill or this good in this particular industry. I'm going to take my friend. He does braiding hair. He does locks by Rifa. Shout out him. Locks by Rifa. Now, he says no one does braids or the locks like he does. Nobody twists it and does these specific locks the way that I do them. So no one else can copy what I do. However, nobody's perfect. So sometimes people mess up. He does free redos if there's something that you don't like, he will fix it for you for free. If someone sees you mess up, but they don't understand your process, what you're doing, what you're trying to do, or whatever it is, and they're like, hey, listen, yo, you messed up. I think you should do this. And they don't know what they're talking about. What is your reaction? Especially when if someone came up to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant and is like, yo, listen, I think you should do this. Boy, you are a fan. Who are you talking to? Not me, not I. You are a fan for a reason. If you could do what I could do, you would be here making this money at this level, having this amount of skill. Even if you're not making this money, you have this skill, but you don't. You don't. And here you are trying to give me advice or give me some form of critique where you have no knowledge of or no training and no skill in. And it's really not going to benefit me. So you have to be careful who you take, what you listen to. That's why it's very important, who you have in your circle, who you run with, because those are the people that are going to be in your ear, whether you realize it or not. So you have to really focus and keep your. I don't want to say keep your circle. I don't want to say keep your circle small, but I do want to say you have to really hone in on your standards of people that you're around. I like that. I'm not saying keep your circle. I'm not saying keep your circle small. I'm saying focus and hone in on your standards of people that you hang around on whatever level. Standard doesn't have to be a financial thing. It could be like I don't hang out with people that steal. I don't hang out with people that lie. I don't hang out with people that smoke. I only hang out with people that are vegetarian. I only hang out with people that are vegan. I only hang out whatever association you would like to associate with. Do such, because you have to be extremely careful about who you let in your circle. Because if you were a vegan and you had people that ate McDonald's and Chipotle in your circle, when they go out to eat and they're trying to find something, you are severely outnumbered in your friend group on what the food selection is. However, based on your beliefs and whatever it is that you do and you're trying to stand for, which is the opposite of what your friends are, and much less convenient and comfortable, you are outruled, outnumbered. Are you gonna then succumb and eat McDonald's because you've been peer pressured? What if you just don't put yourself in a situation of hanging with people that don't have food? Because if you think that eating humans and doing this is so wrong, why are you hanging with people that make those decisions? If it's that wrong, you wouldn't hang with a murderer. That's very wrong. So you have to just find where you draw your line in your standard. And I'm not saying that you can't hang out with other people. I'm just saying you have to draw your line for your standard. What is your standard? That's why you're not friends with certain people, because that's your standard. But you have to really then now think about, now that you have a new goal, a new vision, a new idea, whatever it is that you're trying to do differently, you now have to rethink. Hey, do I have a supportive friend group? If you don't have a supportive friend group, what kind of friend group is that? So you have to start small and never lose sight of the bigger picture, and that's what can help you, stay on the straight. So at least stay on your path that you choose for you. It's about staying focused. I think that's going to be. I think I do a whole. I'm thinking I'm going to do a whole keynote on that. A whole keynote on staying focused, because focus can be so many different things. Focus can have to deal with productivity. Focus can deal with efficiency. Focus can deal with mentality. Focus can deal with sales. Focus can deal with focus can deal with so many different things. And I say that word so often. So I'm definitely gonna have to do like a keynote. I think that might be what my first kitchen keynote is on. It might be on focus. Anyway, you cannot lose sight of the bigger picture. So when you set off on your goal was to lose 100 pounds. When you get to 50 pounds and you're like, oh, I look good, you can't lose sight of your goal because you wanted to lose 100. You can't lose 50 and say, you know what, no, this is good enough. Go for your 100. Your goal was to lose 100 pounds. Never lose sight of that. If you only lose 20 pounds and you're feeling discouraged, never forget that your goal is 100. And every day that you're alive is every day you have an opportunity to get closer to your goal. So if you aren't making the progress that you would not like to make, if you're slower than you would like to be, then if you wake up tomorrow, another 24 hours to repeat and try it again and make it right, to go better, to do better, to make the step, to make the change. And I love the fact that this will be on behind the scenes, because you guys can see this podcast. Go follow me on YouTube. You know the real deal. You can't see it, but you can hear it. If you are at a particular point and you're here and you're walking away from that, so if you were saying trying to make $1 million and you have bad money habits, a lot of people have bad money habits. So you have a goal here, $1 million. You have bad money habits. You're effectively walking away. You're walking further away from your goal. However, you have to, at some point, one day, make the decision to say, you know what, stop, turn around, and then go. It's not like, oh, you just turn and go the other way. No, you have to first say, hold on, stop. I'm going the wrong way. You got to turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to make this change. You have to plan. Hey, this is not where I want to be. I'm going down the wrong path. I need to do something different. That's where you make your turnaround at. And then you implement that and then make that action and continue going. You have to start small. It's always start small. It's a step at a time. That's why it's called progress. It only matters that you make you happy, because that progress is for you and you alone. No one else can take credit for that. No one else can do anything about that. No one else was there along that path. And even for those that supported you, they didn't have to actually be there. They're not if you were a recovering alcoholic, you can have a support group. They're not actively at the AA meetings with you. You have to do this for you. You can't do this for anybody else. So you have to, at the end of the day, look within yourself and say, hey, is this something that I really want to do? So when you set out on your venture or whatever it is that on the path that you set off on this week to go into the world of newness, of new ventures and being an entrepreneur, you have to really look at what it is that you're doing and say, am I going to be happy with this goal? Is this goal my goal? Did I set this goal? Is this something that's really what it's about? So you have to start small and then go big and never lose sight of the picture, because no one knows what that picture is. No one knows what your dream is. No one can live your dream. And you have to get real about it. So if you have a goal, even if it's unattainable, I talk about unattainable goals or far reach goals that would take an entire lifetime to achieve. When I say you have to make it real, you have to make steps. You can't just have the goal. You have to make steps to achieve that goal, because no goal is just achieved instantaneously. You don't say, you know what, oh, I have a goal, boom, it's achieved. No, there are steps that have to be done. So if you had a goal to be an Olympic gold medalist, that's a great goal. If you had a goal to be an Olympic gold medalist, what does it take? What is the process to be an Olympic gold medalist? You have to train every day. They wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. They're training, eating. They're literally training all day. If you had a 9 to 5, you're getting up at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, training till 6:30, 7, maybe even 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then going to work, coming home, training. It is a rigorous lifestyle. Then you have to go and compete. You have to do small tournaments, and you have to do small championships, and then you have to do qualifiers, and then you have to maybe even set a record. I don't know, but it's a large process, a lot of work. So you have to be ready to put that in. So whatever goal it is that you're working towards, you have to make it real for you and have those steps. And if you that's why I say you have to look within and say, hey, do I really want this goal? Because you have to love the process and the steps that go along with it. If you want to be a renowned basketball player and you love basketball, you have to love the practice. That's why wasn't able to keep on playing. Attitude wasn't showing up at practice. Yeah, you can be nice and good and have talent, but if you're not going to show up at practice, we're not going to really take you seriously. And then you are actually a liability at this point, and you have to go. So you have to really think about what it is that you're doing and how much do you love it? Do you love the process? Do you love the small interworkings? Now, you're not going to love every single thing, especially if you're starting a business. You're not going to love every single aspect of it. But if you were just going to call yourself an entrepreneur or a business owner in what you're doing, do you love the craft enough to, okay, I'm going to have to do things I don't like? You have to really hone in on if you want it, because if you don't want it, it's going to show in your work ethic, and in your work. And if your work ethic doesn't show, it's going to show in your results. And when it shows in your results, it's going to be in your attitude, because you're going to be discouraged. Like, oh, I put in this work and it's not paying off, but you're not putting in the hard enough work. You're not doing the real means necessary to make headway and make results. So you have to be in love with your process or the steps that it's going to take to get to your goal, because it's going to take time. And so if you love the process and love the steps, you will forever be happy, because you'll be happy now because you're content with what you have. You'll be happy because you're not only content with what you have, you know where you're going to end up. And you already know that you're going to love every step of the way. Relatively, roughly, you know what I mean. So love what you do. Don't start something and not love it. Not like it. Don't think it's cool. Don't think, oh, I'd do this again. Really love it. Because then you get to see what should be prioritized. How much of a priority is this, you know? If you have bills to pay, which bill would you say is the highest priority? Probably rent, because it doesn't matter if you pay every other single bill if you didn't pay the rent, because then you paid all the bills and then you ain't got nowhere you can't even use it. So it'd be arguably safe to say that rent is your most important bill. Your mortgage, whatever, is the most important bill. And you have other bills after that. Probably next one is electricity, because everything runs on electricity. Most of it. You can get by with just having electricity of all the utilities. And then there's another one that's come in a huge jump that is in a lot of people's houses. Safe to say, almost everybody's house. Internet. Internet is a huge priority for a lot of people. That's how you run your streaming services, get online, entertainment, schoolwork, might be regular work. I know for me, without internet, I can't work. So internet on my list of, things is a huge responsibility. However, does that mean I'm going to put internet above my rent or my mortgage? No. So the same thing goes with your free time. You watch Netflix, play video games, read manga, on the computer doing BS things, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Twitter, TikTok, using your free time for that. Or you could be using your free time to make headway or progress and achieve steps toward your goals, what it is you're trying to do. What takes priority? Netflix or this business, this whatever it is you're trying to do. So that's why I say you have to really love it. If you say you love something, but you'd rather watch Netflix, then what it shows you literally right there. You yourself chose which was a priority. You have the option. You're getting off of work, coming home. You have the option to work on whatever it is business you're trying to do, or whatever entrepreneurial side hustle you're trying to get off the ground, whatever hobby it is that you're trying to pick up, whatever skill that you're trying to learn. You could do that, or you could come and watch Netflix. Those are your options, especially now that it's quarantine and you can't even go anywhere. So if you come home and choose to watch Netflix, that tells you your options. That tells you what's important to you. That tells you that watching Netflix is important to you. And that's all. That's really all that is. This is a whole lot of assistance going on, man. I love it. A whole lot of assistance going on. Check back tomorrow. Hey Ramblers, before you go, make sure you're following us on social media at Assistance HQ across the board for all content and exclusives. And for an even more personal touch, subscribe to our weekly newsletter with the link in the description.